All right. This is Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. I'd like to start off by saying, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Bachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad. The Hakim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Schwab on Mawan back at you with another lesson. And what I want to grab, all right, more troubles for Jacob, all right. And I'm gonna show two videos, all right. And I'll grab some scriptures and close it out. Let me just grab the video real quick. Give me 1 second. I thought I had 3 videos. I don't know where the one video went. Let me just make sure it's not in my messages. I do got one in my actually in my messages. All right, so let's grab this one first. All right.
Top U.S. general just hinted at possible military combat deployments in our own neighborhood. That is not normal language from the chairman of Joint Chiefs, and that's not something the military says lightly. The way he phrases it makes it clear. They expect something to change very soon. Take a look.
You look back over the arc of our deployment history over the last few years, we haven't had a lot of American combat power in our own neighborhood. I think that's, I suspect that's probably going to change. We'll see what we're ordered to do, and of course we follow that guidance, but we're definitely spending some time there now.
Top generals almost never speak publicly about potential combat deployments unless talks are already happening behind closed doors. When a general says, "I suspect that's going to change," it means planning is underway and conversations are already happening. And the phrase "in our own neighborhood" strongly suggests he's talking about the United States and not foreign wars. The U.S. almost never positions combat forces inside of its own country. That's insane. But of course, the Trump administration is pressuring them to do this. And it's all about seizing more control and taking away our constitutional rights. This is why the Democratic lawmakers reminded our military to remember their oath. Just think about what's taking place right now. The Trump administration is escalating foreign conflicts in places like Venezuela and domestic ones as well in our own cities. I definitely see why Putin wanted Trump to be the president so badly. He is destroying this country from the inside out.
Yeah, and when they say that, that means that they're going to come for you, Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, because you are the target. All right, remember you had DT, all right, our cool Lord, all right, which is the president. All right, he said there's an enemy within. All right, and really what he's really trying to get to is the men of the Lord, the prophets. All right, but the Lord said that he ain't gonna be able to get to us, man. All right, because the Lord gonna lift up a standard against them. The Lord gonna give us spiritual power. All right, and the Lord said, you know, by us doing the will of the Lord, all right, that not a hair shall be touched on our head, man. Okay, so you know, again, this is coming to you 2/3 that don't want to hearken onto the word of the Lord. All right, let's grab this. This is Psalms 17 and 13. And it said, oh, so like it's 17 and 13. And it says, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay. And the sword, all right, goes back to Esau, Edom. All right. Going back to Genesis, the 27th chapter. All right. He was given the blessing of what? All right. This is 28. Right. He says, therefore, Yahweh give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Right. Oh, Salakia, my bad, wrong verse. Go down a little bit. Once he was supplanted, right? Because he had got supplanted twice, all right, and Jacob ended up getting the blessing, all right. But you had Esau that literally was crying up and down to Isaac to bless him with something, all right. And Isaac said to him in verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Okay. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. All right. So we know that this devil was given the blessing of the sword, all right, to have weapons, you know, military power, okay? And Esau's perpetual hatred was always to slay his brother, okay, his brother Jacob, all right, consistent of you 12 tribes, all right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, all right? And this is why, you know, Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, verse, I believe it's 58, exactly. All right, this is a curse that's upon you, Jakes. All right, that you're actually, you know what, it's down more. Give me 1 second. 65, all right, and 66. All right, this is a curse upon you, Jakes. Okay, it says, among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord Yahweh shall give thee their trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. You see, so you don't even know if you're going to be able to make it to the next day. That's one of the curses upon our people, man. That's why you see our people dying on the streets all the time, you know, by the so-called white man and his little, you know, his little sword, all right, his little, his laws and justice, all right, by police, okay. That's a curse upon our people, man. All right. And that's all part of, you know, Jacob always going through their type of troubles. All right. But see, what's about to come is about to be a heavy, heavy judgment upon the earth. Okay. Because the Lord said that 2/3 of our people, all right, Zechariah 13 and 8, have to be cut off and die. All right. Because they don't want to hearken on to the word. Right. This is Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Okay, so the third that's going to be left therein is the elect, and they're going to be passed through the fire, right? And the Lord's going to try to refine them as silver and as gold, all right? But 2/3 of our people going to end up passing away, man, all right? Because they are the multitude that's born in vain. Let's grab that, all right? Those that didn't want to hearken on to the word of the Lord, okay? This is Second Ezra's, the 9th chapter, verse 22. And it says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant for with great labor have I made it perfect. Okay. So, the 2/3 is the multitude that's going to perish. All right. That was born in vain. But the 1/3 is the grape that's going to be kept. All right. Because the Lord has made it great with great labor. He has made it perfect. All right. So again, all right, our people have to learn by death and pain, because 11, let's grab 9 and 11 in Second Ezra. And they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. You see, the same must know it after death by pain. Okay. So the Lord's going to punish them. All right. And they've gotten away with a lot. See, the Lord is angry with the wicked every day, as the scriptures say. This is 8 and 11, all right, in Ecclesiastes. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Lord Yahweh, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which as a shadow, so like a which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You see, and that sword is being furbished, okay, right before their eyes, man. All right, let's grab that real quick. This is Ezekiel. All right, Ezekiel 21 and 9. And it says, son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and is also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? And that's what these 2/3 is in. They're in the spirit of mirth. All right. And the house of the wise is in the house of mourning, you see. But the house of fools is in the house of laughter, right? So, they're constantly making mirth. They're in the house of mirth. It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he has given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is sharp, and it is furbished, to give it into the hand of the slayer. Okay. And the ultimate slayer is going to be Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. But, this devil is the blessing of the sword, right? So, he going to have his way with Jake, right? Because they don't want to hearken on to the word of the Lord. All right. And the Lord uses him as, a whooping stick to our people, you see? So let's grab this real quick. Another video. Damn, I got the craziest itch on my nose. I don't know why. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Just looking something up real quick. Give me a second real quick. Let me just end this off because I got somebody that's about to pull up to the house. The landlord. I think I hear him too. But let me bring this back out. This is another video right here.
Full breaking, fuck the news. Billionaire Palantir co-founder calls for return of public hangings to show masculine leadership in America. The billionaire co-founder of the software company Palantir has called for the return of public hangings in order to demonstrate masculine leadership. If I'm in charge later, we won't just have 3 strikes law. We will quickly try to hang men after 3 violent crimes. And yes, we will do it in the public to deter others. Our society needs balance. It's time to bring back masculine leadership to protect our most vulnerable. Lonsdale, who co-founded the Tech Giant alongside with entrepreneurs including Peter Thiel, made the comments in response to the online criticism of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and his attitude to recent military strikes against alleged drug boats. Hegseth was called out for his own online post in which he boasted openly about sinking another narco boat. Online users reacted with outrage, with Claire Lehman, editor of Australian-based libertarian website, describing the post itself as grotesque. So, you know, look, listen, everybody, these people, this is a billionaire's world. If you don't got money, you don't have shit. These people are openly calling for things. I got this.
I'm about to come back.
We're 1196 on that possible headline.